Hela, which became a province of its own in the year 2009, has had significant development challenges like all other provinces in Papua New Guinea. In 2018, Hela was one of the provinces in the Highlands region which was hit by a massive 7.5 magnitude earthquake. Relief assistance were carried out by the provincial government with support from development partners such as Oil Search, ExxonMobil, International Committee of the Red Cross, and the United Nations, to name a few. However, relief assistance were interrupted in the province due to armed conflicts within the province. This has prompted dialogue between the provincial authorities as well as development partners to come up with ways in which to address the issue of conflicts that were taking place in the province. This resulted in the inaugural Hela Peace and Development Workshop, which took place on the 1st to the 3rd of October.
I'm really thankful that we have a very big turnout. We never had a big gathering like this in Hela to plan and to help coordinate peace building programs and developments in this province. And the idea of this workshop started back then, 2018. February 26, when we were hit by the 7.5 magnitude earthquake, and Red Cross and UN and everyone else were here to help us. And because of law and order situation that sparked within the vicinity of Tari town, we were displaced.
And as we came on the ground, we came to understand, and that was really the advice and the understanding that was shared with us by the leadership, that a number of problems that the province faces were not necessarily related to the natural disaster itself, but were there because of challenges that the province faces itself. And as we discussed months ago when we were together, it's always, you have to try and make an opportunity out of a tragedy. And I think that the earthquake was a bit of a wake-up call for everyone, from the national authority, the local authorities and the development partners, that more needed to be done to improve and increase the livelihoods and the resilience of the people of Hela.
Discussions during the workshop, which was chaired by Governor Philip Undialu and co-chaired by the United Nations Resident Coordinator Gianluca Rampolla, were aimed at collectively supporting the provincial government's development of its peace and development priorities, and also for development partners and key government departments who were participants of the workshop to identify possible areas of support to the provincial government's peace and development priorities in a coordinated manner.
Over the past years, it has been a disoriented or disorganized efforts been put by different actors. Now we want to put in a coordinated way with involvement of UN and our development partners. So we just want to put, if you want to say law and order, okay, what's the cause of the root cause of the law and order? Let's target that cause. How do we resolve conflicts? How do we remove guns from the battlefield? How do we bring back the communities back? How do we revive the communities, or what incentives we provide? These are things that we want to do as far as the trouble fighting. So at the end of the day, we want to clean up the guns in the society, outlaw trouble fights in Hela, and allow peace and normalcy returns and development, and sustainability of individual life. Yeah.
And the partners that are around are the key partners that are either already operating in the province, like the extractive companies, or Australia, or partners that are intended and want to increase their investments in Hela. The focus, as the governor said, is, we first have to clean up your house before you invite guests in and make a big party. And I think that we are here to help the governor and all the local authorities do that cleanup and ensure that we are able to strengthen social cohesion, consolidate the reduction in violence that has been in the recent weeks, address all of the root causes that create conflicts at intercommunal level, stabilize the province so as to be able to exploit at its maximum all of its development potential.
A point that was stressed during this workshop was that development cannot take place in Hela if there is continuous fighting and disharmony amongst people. Development partners who were present for the workshop acknowledged the collective efforts of Governor Undialu and his provincial representatives on their efforts and initiatives that are in place to maintain peace in Hela.
Well, firstly, I think the workshop was a very important occasion for partners led by the United Nations and various different governments like Australia, New Zealand, and other agencies to, along with private sector organizations like Exxon and Oil Search, to be here to be involved in discussions with the Hela provincial government. It's important to again emphasize that this activity or this workshop was not about coming and talking about new things. It was coming to support the Hela provincial government and the governor and his people to see where we can add value to what they're already doing. And always it's important that initiatives come from provincial governments, in this case the Hela provincial government, as opposed to partners coming in and trying to tell them what to do. So I think that was an important recognition that we were able to achieve.
This workshop is seen as an indicator of a way forward and of the leadership of Hela to ensure there is peace and harmony amongst the people of Hela, as peace, security and development go hand in hand.
Well, the Oil Search Foundation is part of the private sector delegation that came here, and we were very happy to come because we think peace and security and development all go hand in hand, and they create the key ingredients for a growing economy. And when you have a growing economy, you can give young people jobs, they've got a future, they've got incomes, and they end up becoming productive citizens. And when they do that, they don't get distracted into sort of bad behaviour, sort of disaffection, drugs and crime and so forth. And that's just good news for the economy and for all of PNG. And we have a lot of investments here in Hela and in Southern Highlands, and we're concerned as a private sector organisation about the potential for there to be security issues, for young people to not be contributing productively to the economy. They do need those opportunities, and this conference has been talking about how we can make that happen. And so today we've discussed a focus on young people. 65% of the people living in Hela are under the age of 26 years of age, and many of those people have got no jobs and at the moment don't think they've got much of a future. So we owe it to them and to the country to come to these meetings to develop plans to take initiatives forward, new projects, new job creation schemes, income support schemes, so people can have a good future.
Well, I think it's a very significant step forward. A lot of people, particularly in the aftermath of last year's earthquake, realised that whilst the earthquake really challenged Hela, the province and the people of the province were facing other challenges, and particularly associated with tribal fighting and ongoing violence. So what we're seeing now is the governor, the provincial administration, the communities of Hela really crying out for longer term solutions to the problem of violence. And from Australia's perspective, as a development partner, we're very keen to support this initiative. So I think all of the partners coming together through this workshop have a great opportunity to think longer term what can really can assist Hela solve the problem of tribal fighting and ongoing violence.
When it comes to law and order, the disciplinary institutions play a vital role. Hence, the police, correctional service and the defense bosses also contributed meaningfully to the discussions of this peace and development workshop in terms of their plans in place to support Hela in achieving and maintaining peace.
PNG Defence Force plan is to ensure that we have a permanent presence here, to ensure that we create a conducive environment for all other development, service delivery, investment in Hela Province to proceed without any interruptions, and we have a responsibility to do that. So our presence, in our view, will help stimulate all other service delivery activities, development aspirations, and also allow our investment partners to have confidence in continuous investment.
The law and order issue in the province. Correctional service, we only deal with the marginal group of people, and these are the prisoners, whether they are convicted or they are remand prisoners. We have a facility here in Hela Province, our correctional institutions. While we've got only one dormitory and about 16 staff houses, this dormitory belongs to men only. We can only house adult men prisoners, whether they are convicted or remand male prisoners. We do not have the facility for women and for juvenile. We do not have a proper office and many other infrastructures, but those are long-term issues. I think what we all should look at is that there is a facility now in place, and if the formal court system, police, we all work together, and we process our offenders, and if they are found to be guilty and convicted by the lower or higher courts, there is a facility now that is available to house about 50, and 50 is a big number. At the moment, for I think 18 months or so, it remains empty.
Yes, the tribal fight, we have our background as Highlanders here. We have backgrounds. Our forefathers have been fighting for certain things that they value. But nowadays, fighting not like before. But they use firearms and so on, and then this, criminal minds come into certain people. They use that opportunity to benefit themselves and so on. So we lost a lot of people, but we have a way to resolve those. Yes, police manpower. Yes, we are down, but we have support from the provincial governments, our administrators, our governors, our MPs, and also our local communities too. Even though we have a law and order situation, but at least we have support. If two warring tribes fight, the other tribes are willing to help us, the other communities willing to help us. So on our part, as a commander here, I have hope, and my PPCs, 3 PPCs of Hela Province and Henga, Southern Islands, they're working so hard to mitigate, to get our communities together, to get the leadership together, and they're talking to the people. So we hope one day we will resolve all this tribal fight.
A call to action and roadmap were constructed and signed by all stakeholders and partners following the 2 days of discussions, and there is no turning back now for the province. It's above and beyond from here on.
Hela is the host of the PNG LNG project that continues to support the national caucus of this country. As long as case remains, we will continue to play our role. Security in Hela, establishing a peaceful environment is everyone's business and everyone's business, and I welcome all of you to be stakeholders and participate in securing Hela as a peaceful and progressive province.